to talk to you today about dot painting. You're going to make a dot painting for me, and you can make it about anything you want, but I'm going to show you some symbols because remember I talked to you about the fact that there's always symbols. You can always tell a story in a dot painting. You can tell a story too. So here's some of the symbols that they use. And this symbol, a U or a U like that, means a person. Okay, this is people. This is a person. It can be a man or a woman, depending on how you put it in the picture. This, remember we saw these in the picture that I showed you downstairs? This is a gathering place, most typically a fire, because remember, fire is the place that, you can't, this is fire. And fire is also indigenous dot painting. It means a gathering place. It's a place where people come together. And in fact, you'll often see it with people around it like this, facing into the fire. There's usually a person in 4 different places. It would be right here where the fire goes, but I'm going to put it here like this. And then here. And that you'll often see that people are gathering there around the fire like that. But remember, it's a dot painting. So when people do these, they don't actually draw lines. They draw the marks with dots like this. Okay? All of the lines that you see would be done in dots. They would not be done with just lines. This is what kangaroo looks like because it's the track of a kangaroo. It's up and over like an arrow and then another one like that. That's a kangaroo because it looks like a kangaroo track. Another thing that you might want to draw on your picture is water, because water is usually where people gather. And when you draw water like this, it's running water. It usually means a river or a stream. And again, when you draw water like this, remember, it's going to be dots. It's because everything in a dot painting is done with a dot like that. Then, what are some other things you might want to look at? So indigenous people tell stories around campfires because that's how they pass on their understandings about the world. And so one of the things they do is they tell stories about the stars they see in the sky. And something like this can look like either the sun or the stars, just like that. It could be the sun or the stars that they're talking about. This is the track of a human. So if you use this, it means people have walked there. This is a track of a person. This is the sun or a star. I'm going to do /star because we can know it can be either one. This is exactly what you think is a rainbow. And a rainbow could be an actual rainbow. It could be the stop of a storm. It could be something good coming after something bad, which is a very big part of indigenous culture. This is a journey. So a journey uses the same side for a gathering place because a journey always starts with people, and then it has lines moving away. And the lines can move any distance away. They can go in any direction, or they can go in one direction, or 2 directions, or 3 or 4. So this is a journey or a trip. Remember I showed you the picture above my bed where Nana drew the picture of me and her and how we got together. And in the very middle of that, there was the gathering place circle, and then there were the paths or the journeys that went around from that. Because we still had our own journeys, and some of it was together and some of it was not together, because that's how it is with friends. So those are some things that you could get started using. You could draw people or a gathering spot. You could draw our gathering spot, which would be our classroom. So if you wanted to write about our class, you could draw a gathering spot. Even though it wasn't a fire, a gathering sign will still work for that. You can draw people, you can draw kangaroo tracks, you can draw human tracks, a sun or a star, a river, a rainbow, a journey, or you can make up your own symbols for whatever you want your story to be when you do your dot painting. You could also do dot paintings like they did in our book, Possum and Waddle, where you can use the dots to draw things or animals that you already know, because they did that very, very often. I cannot wait to see what your dot paintings are. Now, when you're done with your dot paintings, I need you to write a sentence about your dot painting. Tell us, what is your dot painting? What are you telling us about? Because in dot paintings, you're always telling a story. So once you tell your story with your dots, I want you to tell your story with your writing. Now, here's a trick that Australians use when they paint with dots. If they want to make big dots, they might use the brush of a paintbrush. But for little precise dots, they almost always use the back end, the bottom part. They dip it in paint and they dot, dot, dot. You could also use a Q-tip, but this is what they use most often, is the back side of a paintbrush. Okay, I cannot wait to see your dot paintings. I'm so excited about it. Do your best work, please.